Hello. Just so you know, this is the second take of me jumping from below the desk. And the things that I do for you people, it never ceases to amaze me. But hello and welcome to episode number 23. If you're not watching this, you just heard me shout hello at you. And the thing is that I was hiding under the desk before I said hello. But it's fine. The joke doesn't work if you're listening to it. Lots of other jokes on this podcast will work if you're just listening to it, so don't worry about that. But there is a video portion online if you want to do that. Welcome to episode number 23, though, now that I've ranted about that for too long. We had on Paige Smith. She is a really funny comedian. She does sketches on her Instagram and a couple of different accounts that I will link below. But she is really funny. This was a fun podcast because we were just joking back and forth about just being a creative during COVID, and I know that we talk about that a lot, but let's be honest. I mean, like, this is just a weird time. So we're just talking a little bit about being creative during COVID, how to push through some writer's block stuff, just comedy in general, and like poking fun at like just where we're at right now. It was a really good one. It was fun. I had a good time. This podcast was a super fun one. I'm really excited to get into it. So let's just get into it then. Why don't we just do that? Let's do it. Okay, here we go. Roll intro. Once more. Repeating. And there it is. Now we're in it. You had good moves. I had to do the coffee dance because I'm not caffeinated enough yet. So slowly but surely I'll be on the rise as
I've got my coffee going.
Ooh, who's on your mug? Who is that?
Oh, this is my Camp Rock mug.
Oh, amazing.
The Disney Channel movie Camp Rock.
Yeah, is
so
that the
Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato. I've had this for at least 10 years.
Oh,
it's just my biggest mug.
Amazing.
So that's why I'm using it today.
Yeah, the most coffee that you can get. I don't know about you.
What's on your mug?
Mine is just boring, but it was it's Phil's coffee because I'm bougie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm
You're
real
showing
bougie.
off.
I love, like, I'm just like a big coffee tea guy. So
yeah.
I found out that it fuels most of what I do, and I just got really into it after that. It's like all these different flavors and whatever, but
Phil's is great though.
Phil's is really good.
It's all like pour overs, right? That's like their thing.
Yeah, and like if you like black coffee, see, you know what's up. Yeah, you're rocking the Camp Rock mug. That would be great if you brought that.
Yeah, so you know I know coffee.
That would be great if you brought that into like just Phil's. Like you bring your Camp Rock mug and you just have them fill it up for you.
This is like, I love this thing. Most mugs, I don't know if you have this problem, but I break them all the time. Oh yeah. And this one has survived so much. It moved with me from Texas. Like, wow, we've been through a lot together.
Dang, Texas. So when did you move from Texas to here?
3 years ago, 3.5 years ago.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's just
I did my last semester of college in LA.
Oh, okay.
My school had like a program where you could go to LA for a semester, so I did it for my last semester, and then I just stayed.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, what did you like? Is it relevant? What did you go to college for? I don't know.
For film.
Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was always the plan to move out here.
Yeah.
It just made it easier. A little softer transition.
Yeah, especially last year of college. It's like you're just having everything sorted, figuring it out, and yeah, that's the time. Yeah, my girlfriend did the same thing. She moved down to Long Beach for college, and then she just stayed. She never moved back. She was like, "No, don't want to go back." Yeah, she was up in Sacramento.
What did she do? What did she go to school for?
Same film. So she actually knows. That's actually how I know Cassie is through Bella, and Bella and Cassie went to the Paige program together in Paramount.
Yes, fabulous.
Yeah. So she does that. Well, she did that, and then but she went to school for film and all that stuff too. So that was kind of like how all that connection and things.
Yeah.
But
totally.
But yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like really fun, creative people that Cassie's been pointing to me from the Paige program. Like it's just been like.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the Paige program.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Well, that makes sense then. Yeah.
So there you go.
I like how I was like, there's a lot of fun, creative people. You're like, I was part of it.
Yeah, including me. No.
Including.
Not calling myself fun or creative.
No, you definitely are. I saw your skits. They were really funny. I like the Bachelor one cracked me up. Because at first, I was a little bit... I'm not going to lie. Okay, because what happens with this usually is like Cass will be like, hey, I have some friends coming out, whatever. She'll send me like different people, like, and she sent me some of your profile and stuff. And so she sent me that one, but I'm not going to lie, for like a half second, I thought it was serious, like on the first upbeat.
That's always my fear. I don't know how much of my stuff you've seen, but that's always kind of the tone. And I'm scared people are going to think I'm serious.
No, but it's great because it's like, it tricks your expectation, because when the first moment I was like, oh no, this person's serious. And then it was like, and then after that, I was like, once I saw you starting with nothing, I was like, oh my God, this is great. This is like, she's just making fun of her. So it was like, it was better that I actually thought it was real for a second, because the deadpan part actually got me.
I have one video where I'm very serious the whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the cup song from like Pitch Perfect.
Oh yeah.
But I'm singing a 303 song like to that beat.
Yeah.
And I've had so many people be like, I thought that was real. I thought you really were like, you were doing something, singing 303. This is
special. This was really special.
Because there's nothing to like give it away, I guess, that it's not serious.
No, it's good though. But there's so many comedians who do that well. I'm trying to think of like other comedians that I've seen who do that, like where they just play that character the whole way through and they don't.
Right. I mean, that's my favorite.
Yeah. So good.
My favorite thing. So.
Yeah. Who are some of
your... And I really don't care if people think I'm serious or not.
Screw it. Who cares? What? Somebody on Instagram, what are they going to message you? Be like, are you okay? And you'd be like, yeah, I'm great. I'm going to be on The Bachelor, so it's going to be great.
Yeah. It's not for those people anyway. I want to make my friends laugh. My friends know I'm not serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they know who you are. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But who are some people that you admire in comedy? Like, who are your...
Oh, gosh, in comedy?
Sure.
I guess as far as like stand-ups go, I love like Anthony Jeselnik. He's one of my favorites.
Love him. He's so irreverent and funny. Like, oh my gosh.
Amazing. Yeah. Gosh. Martin Urbano comes to mind, but he's like a friend of a friend, so I don't know how.
Oh, that's
You
fun.
should look him up though.
Who is it, Mark?
If you like Jeselnik.
Mark who?
Mm-hmm. Martin Urbano.
Martin Urbano. Okay.
Like a New York comedian, and his girlfriend Kelsey Kane. I love her too. They're both hilarious.
No, I love that. Honestly though, like I like I'm a musician, and like most of my favorite artists are my friends. So like when people like, I'll name a couple big people, but then it's like that, my favorite. That's why I got into it, is because I love what I do, and I love like music, and I like my friend's music,
Totally.
Not that that's like a prereq to be my friend, but it helps.
You have to be talented.
You have to be good at what you do. There's auditions to be my friend.
There's a talent show. Everyone kind of brings their best stuff.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. They just line down the street with batons and stuff. That would be funny as hell. I don't know why they'd want to be. I'm like such an ass. I don't know why anybody would want to like be my friend that hard. They just.
That's hilarious.
Anyway,
gotta earn
maybe
it.
I pay. I don't know.
I gotta earn it.
Yeah, maybe I pay. Okay, so this is like the typical question, I feel like, but like, what are you making anything right now in COVID? Is it like, I feel like I'm barely making anything, to be honest with you. It's.
It was hard to like find a groove. I have a roommate, and so the only time I ever film things is when she's gone. I wouldn't want to like burden her with what I'm doing, but also like, it's easier when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
But she's been gone for a couple weeks now. She went back to Texas for a little bit, so I've started filming some stuff. But I've been pretty diligent about writing.
That's cool.
Lately, it took a while.
Yeah.
But I'm like writing stuff again.
Yeah, like obviously everybody kind of went through a loop for a minute there. Like even if you had like a regular job, you would just like, I don't know if I'm gonna go back. Like what is happening? But
yeah.
So it's like it wasn't even like a pointed question because I feel like the same way where it's like there's days where it's like I feel I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like making stuff. Like there's weeks where I've been like, wow, like this week. Heck yeah, like I got a bunch done. I feel like I made a bunch of songs, worked with a bunch of artists, and it's like great. And then there's some weeks where I'm like, dude, what is the point? Is this ever gonna be done? Like what is because if this is how it is now, maybe I should just like, I don't know, like find something else to do. I have
a friend who's a musician. She's a singer-songwriter, and she just for August has started writing a song a day.
Wow.
And she posts them online, and so that's sort of holding her accountable.
Whoa, that's really cool.
So that's something.
Yeah, I've always appreciated people who could do those challenges, like who they stick with like a month or whatever it is, because it's like going in, like if you're writing every day for a month, like there's gonna be some bad ones. You know what I mean? Yeah. In anything you do. But like that's the point. I think
it takes a little bit of pressure off.
Totally. Yeah.
For sure.
It's like this mixed bag of like. You probably, in my head, I overthink it. I'm like, but it's gonna be bad if I write every day, and then it's like, but yeah, that's the point. Like it's just like, duh, you know? Yeah. I
don't know about you. It's been hard to like motivate myself and get going. Yeah. But then on top of that, there's zero inspiration. Like I'm never outside my apartment.
Right.
What am I going to write about in here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it totally translates. There's only so many.
I'm out of ideas.
Yeah, there's only so many songs or bits I imagine you could write about just like, and these four walls are around me.
And the last thing I want to do is like a COVID sketch. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just everything's been said.
How much COVID comedy do you think is going to be like out after once people can actually hit the clubs and stuff again?
I don't know. No one's going to have there's only so many original thoughts.
I know. That's the thing.
You know what I mean? So I'm nervous that it's all going to be the same thing.
Yeah, some people might just be like, well, you're stealing my bit. It's like, no, dude, that was the only thing that happened. Like for the
we all lived the same life for 5 months.
Almost, I feel like it's been almost no, because it started in March, right? I guess it depends on where you're at.
It was like mid-March, I think, when things like really got going, lockdown and all that.
Yeah, mid-March. And what, were you in August? It's only been 5 months? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It feels like
longer. It feels a lot longer.
Feels like longer. Oh, man. I don't know. It also, like, I feel like the beginning of this year was, like, hella slow because, like, just time shut down. And then now it's, like, we're in August. We're several days into August.
Well, I remember in January, everyone talking about how long January felt.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was, like, the joke. That was, like, the meme.
Yeah.
Was that January felt like it was 3 months.
January 50th or whatever. Like, yeah. I was just...
Careful what you wish for, I guess.
Oh, my gosh. I know. I don't know, man. I don't know if I see. And then the other thing too is like a lot of people keep going like, I hope this is like 2020 is almost over, or we'll be in 2021 soon. They're like saying it in a good way. They're like, yeah, like,
I know
we've almost made it. And like, is there something that's gonna happen that I don't know about? Like,
the virus is gonna be like, oh, it's 2021 now. Like, I'm out of here. I was a 2020 thing. I know, like, there's nothing guaranteeing that like next year is gonna be normal.
Yeah, they're just gonna spray like the antivirus like on New Year's Eve and fireworks or something like that. Just like,
oh my god, that would be amazing.
That would be amazing though. What a way.
That would be cool. Mm-hmm.
I almost wouldn't even be mad for them like holding it out for that long, to be honest with you, because that'd just be the showmanship would would really make it worth it. All the death and destruction.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yikes. Oh man, there's so many things that I dig myself into a hole on this podcast where I'm just like, great, that's recorded for the rest of forever.
Is something from this podcast going to come back to like haunt you in a few years?
Oh yeah, 100%. I've already resigned to that.
You're going to be canceled?
Oh yeah. I mean, like, yeah, especially at this point, I feel like people are getting canceled left and right for lesser things than what I just said. So, but I don't. Yeah, that's something that I was curious about because like I've seen most of your comedy sketches, so my apologies if you do more serious anything like I'm,
haven't seen my dramatic sketches?
Right. I didn't see. Well, I saw your serious one about The Bachelor, but other than that one.
Oh yeah.
But other than that one, I was like, do you find it harder or easier to like write things or like think about sketches and stuff with a lot of, I guess, like the culture changing so often and stuff like that, and like I guess different things
like political correctness?
Sure. Yeah, some of that, and just yeah.
I have always thought, I guess, that like it's just a higher value choice. It takes more talent, I think, to make a joke or something that everybody can laugh at.
Yeah.
If you're constantly like punching down or like delivering low blows, like anybody could kind of do that.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
You know?
No, I see what you're saying.
I don't think it's harder for me personally because I wasn't really making like jokes like that could get me canceled.
Fair enough.
But I think that it's a positive change, I guess. You know, I wouldn't.
On the whole.
Know.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I mean, on the whole, I think that it's good that people are like pushing towards that. I think there's times where like obviously every pendulum swings a little too far one way or the other.
For sure.
And like hopefully that corrects itself over time. But like, yeah, I mean, I think that most of the time that's a good thing, right? Like you said, like punching down. Like there's some jokes that's just like, come on, man. Like that wasn't like.
And it just takes more. It takes more skill to be able to write a joke that everybody can laugh at. Totally.
Yeah. Like I don't know. I hate critiquing a comic's work because I'm nobody. But like I remember I was going to I went to the Comedy Store actually just before everything shut down, and I watched I just watched like everybody's sets or whatever. And I remember this is just like, oh God, what was this? It was a famous guy. Gosh. I'm gonna remember his name later.
Describe him.
Oh, okay. He's like tall with glasses. He's kind of heavier set, but Adam Carolla. I think. I'm 90% sure. Hang on, give me 10 seconds.
Okay, I know who Adam Carolla is.
Okay, good. Okay, hang on. Adam.
More dancing.
Carolla. Do. Scoot dabba dee do. Yeah, and so like okay, it was him. I just googled a picture of him. Okay, so I feel bad because maybe it was just an off night, but it was one of those where he didn't even say anything that can get him canceled. But it was one of those where I'm kind of relating it to what you were saying about like punching down, where it was like he was talking about like his wife. Or maybe his ex-wife now, who flipping knows, because the stuff he was saying was so terrible. It was like me and my brother like, were there, and we just looked at each other like, bro, like, you should take that to a therapy session, not like the stage. Like, what is going on? Yeah, and it was like one of those where it was uncomfortable to watch, but not the kind of uncomfortable where like we were talking about Anthony Jeselnik, where like he makes uncomfortable jokes, but it's to make you laugh and like make you laugh at the absurdity of it.
And the thing about Anthony Jeselnik's comedy is that, I mean, he makes jokes about everybody.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he says terrible things. Yeah. But the reason it's funny is that we're laughing at him at the end of the day. We're laughing at the idea that somebody could say something so awful.
Exactly.
We're not actually laughing at whatever group of people he's making fun of. Does that make sense? It's the character he's playing.
Yeah, you're almost like laughing at how much you disagree with him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, isn't it hilarious that there are people that are this awful out there?
Yeah. You know who else reminded me of that? And I don't think he really, I mean, as far as I know, I don't think he does much of anything anymore, is Daniel Tosh. You remember Daniel Tosh?
Yeah.
I thought he was so funny. Because he would do the same type of stuff where it was just like, again, you're laughing at how terrible he is. And obviously he's playing a character. He's not really like that. But it's just, it's so... You're like, oh my gosh, people think like that, like you said, and you're like, I just no way. Like,
yeah. I think the two of them are pretty similar in their comedy style.
Yeah, and but that punching down thing. Anyway, not to harp on Adam, because again, it could have just been a bad night. But I just remember like thinking like there was just some stuff where it's like it's those easy like shock value, like F my wife, she's terrible, like because she just would screw with the next guy right after me if I didn't sleep with her. I'm like, oh my god, it's just like this isn't even, you're just I don't know, like you said, punching down, where it's just like some people laughed, but it's only because of straight shock value, And it's
they also, from what I know about the Comedy Store, or what I've only been there a couple times, but I think it's one of those places that at least like the bigger names do the Comedy Store to like work out new stuff.
Yeah, see, that might have been what it was.
Yeah, it might not have been like his best jokes, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It could have just been like back of a napkin. He's like, oh wow, I shouldn't say that my wife is a whore. That'd be terrible. If
yeah.
You'd think you just toss that one out right away, but apparently that wasn't. You didn't leave with that. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, you never know, dude. I hate that because you never know. Like honestly, like I've played gigs where it's just like you show up and it's like it's just dead from the start, and it's like, or you just didn't play your best songs, or the set list you wrote was like all sad songs and it's a lively bar and you screwed up. You know, it's on you, but it's like, so I don't want to hammer on him too hard, but because you know, like you said, you're working it out. You never really know. It's not like he's doing that in Madison Square. He's just doing that at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Have you ever done like actual, like gone out and done stand up on stage, or are you mostly behind the camera?
I have done stand up on stage. I don't necessarily like it.
Really?
I like it more from like a writing standpoint, of like trying to work out a joke that you can deliver in, you know, however long, and like put the sort of punchline in the right place. Like I like that process of it, I guess. But actually, like performing is not. I don't enjoy that very much.
Interesting. Yeah. No, they're both valid. I think that I think there's so much more to what you do with when it comes to film and stuff. In some ways, obviously, they're just so different. That's why I was interested to see if you do that as well, because that would be. I feel like they're different beasts. I've never really done either, but I did a little acting.
I think they are.
But,
sketch and stand up.
Yeah, totally. Because you're writing and you could do multiple takes, and like there's not you don't have to like save it live, you know, like it's. But then there's also the intensity of the fact that like the editing has to be right, or it's not going to land, or like things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do you edit your own stuff, or
what? Sorry.
Do you edit your own like videos and stuff, or?
Usually, yeah. Yeah, I had one little sketch that needed a little stuff out of because I'm not an editor at all.
Sure.
It takes me forever to edit my own things. So I have hired people in the past to like make something funny. Yeah. I'll just send them whatever, you know, I have, and they make it hilarious.
Yeah. Well, that's good that you trust an editor to do that too, especially just because I feel like comedy is so much timing, and then editing really is timing. Like, so if they don't have a good sense of how to do that, you know, I feel like that's an interesting beast to try and tackle when you're working creatively, at least. Yeah. With the one that comes to mind, I did a sketch where it was like a YouTube video. I was like talking to my boyfriend, and then halfway through we break up, and so his face gets like blurred out, and his voice changes. And I literally just sat there and like improvised with my friend. Yeah. And I spent like an hour worth of us just ranting to my friend, and I explained to her sort of what the joke was supposed to be. Yeah. And she edited it, and I mean, did such a good job. But that's something where it's like the comedy was in the editing. The joke was that he gets like cut out of the video by the end, you know? Yeah, the setup punchline. Yeah, exactly. And that's the punchline, right? Is that he gets cut out. And it's like, if you don't have that done with the right timing, the right way, I imagine it just falls flat, you know? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so I could not have done that one on my own.
Yeah, but like that's like, that's cool that you have somebody that you're able to like trust in that way and send it to them, because it's like, it's so much of it, I feel like, would go hand in hand. So it's. And like the last, I think Mike and Zach that I was talking to, they were saying that they do a lot of that themselves and whatever, just because of that exact reason, where they have to make sure that everything lands right, or else it just isn't going to work. So So yeah, I mean, but yeah. Do you ever write with other people?
Yeah, I've written scripts with other people. Like pilots and things.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. If most of the stuff I do by myself. Like, I'm the only character, and it's usually my idea. And for that reason, I think a lot of the stuff I make doesn't work. Like, people don't get it. So I like having a sounding board.
Yeah. Somebody at least like maybe filming with you to see if it's funny or whatever.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I wrote a sketch with somebody else, but I have improvised sketches with other people.
Yeah,
I did one where my roommate and I were like sitting on our couch recording a podcast.
Yeah,
and that was all improvised, and we had our like friend come over just to give us ideas of things to say, and that worked really well.
Yeah, I loved her headset in that one. I think I saw that one where she's got like it's like this.
She's wearing like a Britney mic.
Yeah, exactly a Britney mic. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's just like,
and she owned that. That is hers.
Oh,
that belongs to my roommate.
Oh, that's amazing.
I asked her. I said, "Do you still have that? Can we use that for this sketch idea?"
So does she also do like comedy? Does she?
She's a producer.
Oh, okay.
That's sort of her thing. She produces comedy, like videos, like sketches and things, but also does a lot of live comedy when live comedy's around. She books stand-up shows and things like that. But we met in college doing improv.
Nice.
She doesn't perform much anymore, but I convinced her.
But you got her back in the game for one more. Yeah.
She's way funnier than me, so I was like, I needed her.
I don't know about that, but it was no, that one was a funny one. But gosh, that's an interesting industry to be in right now, where everything just shut down.
Yeah,
not to go back to the darkness, but that's.
I know. I really think live comedy is going to be one of the last things to.
Oh, for sure.
Come back.
Yeah,
and live music too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean that's actually what I do mostly. Is like I have the studio for when I'm home, but usually what I do is I tour with bands, so I help them like put on the show.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
It's fun. I like it a lot. It helped me.
What do you play?
I play guitar and I sing a little bit, but not with the bands. With them, I usually I'm the assistant stage manager type thing for a couple people.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun. It's hard work. It's a lot of manual labor. It sounds luxurious. It's definitely just manual labor, most of it. It's just like I'm gonna lug this thing over here to here, but it's hard work, but it's honest work. And I really liked it allowed me to see a lot of the world. I saw a lot of different places touring with people, so that was fun. But for sure, the world, that's gonna be like the last thing that comes back. And I always feel dumb, that's why I always like talking to somebody else about who's in the creative field, I guess, about this stuff, because it's like that's gonna be the last thing to come back, and nobody else, everyone's like, oh, I'm sorry, you can't play your show, and I'm like, yeah, but that's how I make money, so
right.
That's
totally,
especially in LA, that's half of our most of our industry comes from entertainment, whether it's film or music or something. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
and most of LA and the big cities make most of the entertainment for everybody else.
Exactly. So. And that's what I was wondering too, was I wondered if it was ever going to slow down to a point where people noticed. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, things are going to stop coming out on TV.
Yeah. Cuz
or whatever.
You can only release A Quiet Place 2, you know? I didn't even see it yet, but it's all these things that they already had filmed. They're like, well, crap, now we're not going to make any money at the box office. You can only release so many of those on Amazon Prime.
The Oscars are going to be weird next year. I know they pushed it back and they're changing some of the sort of rules, but there's you have to be in theaters, I think, for 2 weeks to qualify be eligible for Oscars. So it's going to be, I think, a lot more is going to change than we realize.
Yeah, you gotta make exceptions at least for COVID, because again, Quiet Place, it's the only one I could think of right now, but A Quiet Place too, that's not their fault. It's yeah. What's his name? What's the guy who made that? I freaking love that guy.
John Krasinski. Dude, I'm so bad with names. I don't know. Oh, I'm good with names.
You are?
It's my thing, but most B and C list, A-listers, not very good at that. But the people that nobody care about.
I love the categorization that if they're important, fuck them.
If you're Like Michael Douglas. I have to sit there and think about what Michael Douglas looks like.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Random people I got.
No, I like it. I'm terrible. It was one of those things where I don't know what it is. I was talking to Andrew Carter about this. Because like I have ADD and he has ADD, and we were both talking about it, and it was like for some reason I feel like that's part of that, because like I'm paying attention to like everything else about you, usually, not to like make this like, oh, I'm watching every part of your move, but but usually, like, I was talking to him, I was like, I could tell you like every interaction I've had with you, like that type of thing. Like I know when your dog died, like whatever we've talked about, I remember that. I'm really good with that, like interpersonally. But for some reason, names have always been difficult for me. Don't know why.
That's so much more important.
I don't know. Like it is, but then it's like if you don't remember somebody's name, they're like, this asshole. Like doesn't even know my name.
True, but also it's not like people are constantly reminding you of their name, like in conversation.
True. It's not like, yes, Paige. It's like, yes,
Nailed it.
Renee agrees with you. Now you're right though. But that's something that like it was a very subtle thing, but I noticed on tour it was something that my boss actually told me that. He's like my mentor, my boss basically kind of was telling me like, write people's names down and remember them. And I was like, at first I was like, yeah, okay. But then I realized like it was so subtle, but like if I forgot somebody's name, they were much less likely to like just like listen to me, like, because a lot of what I do is when we go to the next place, like I'm more or less in charge of like a crew of people that are there, like, so there's like maybe 10 or 15 people backstage, and I help facilitate like where they go and where all the equipment goes, because I know where the equipment goes and they know their stage, so we work together to make the show happen. And so like if I asked them to play something somewhere but I forgot his name, like it wouldn't click as well with them. Whereas I realized like just the subtle respect of, especially abroad, because like you have that language barrier already, but if I remember like Massimo or like his name, like I could actually like, they would at least understand that I'm trying. I don't know if that makes
there's
sense.
Definitely something to that.
Yeah.
To like using somebody's name, and
I
think that softens them up a little bit.
Yeah.
Some people.
What is
like,
that?
Wow,
John Proctor
really
in the Crucible?
Even if you don't.
Yes. There's something to a name or something. I don't remember, dude. I did that role in high school like a long time ago, so I have like flashbacks to John Proctor every once in a while.
You accidentally slipped into it.
Yeah. Oh,
what
man.
a curse that would be.
Oh yeah, he was a psycho. Do you remember that play at all, dude? That would be terrible. I would just be beating women left and right.
Oh,
God,
man.
what was it? I just remember his like servant's name was Mary. I was like Mary Jane or Mary something, and he just beats the hell out of her at one point. Like he's like,
wasn't that a thing a little while ago? Like
terrible.
John Proctor was the villain. People were trying to.
Yeah, it's odd because I feel like he kind of is, but he's like it's self-sabotage. Like he's too, at least from what I remember him being just like too proud to let go of, and that's what ends up like killing him in the end. He gets thrown in jail and stuff. But yeah, it's just like I feel like a lot of it has to do with pride, or it's just like he doesn't want to let go of his pride in that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember where it was somebody trying to argue that he's really the villain.
He kind of is. A
little bit.
Yeah, because he doesn't. God, man, this is bringing me way back. But he's the one who has the affair with what's her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I mean, he kind of is, because it's kind of like Othello, where he's like he is the bad guy, but he's the main character. Yeah, because he's like he has the affair, so that's his fault. And then she just is trying to like keep it going with him. He's like, nah, I'm done. One and done. And then basically after that, she's like, well, I'm going to say you're a witch, and then everybody going to die. And then that's my SparkNotes version.
It reminds me of how people were arguing that Sharpay Evans is the hero of the High School Musical trilogy.
I know
how
them,
really,
but not like
High
that.
School Musical?
No, I mean, I know High School Musical. I've watched them for sure. I'm just
there was I'm sure it was a Twitter thread or something. People talking about how it was really Sharpay is the one who was like wronged. Troy and Gabriella came to You don't remember this? It was a big thing.
No,
maybe
I
just
don't.
in my world.
Yeah, probably. I'm a dumb boy.
It's so important to me.
Yeah, I'm a dumb boy. I have no idea. I wish, but I don't. But yeah, there's always those like shows where like the guy leaves his girl, like, because that's what happens, right? Troy leaves Sharpay or something like that. Isn't that what happens? Like they were kind of a thing.
He was never with Sharpay.
Oh.
But he kind of used her. He used her in the second one for sure.
Yeah, like I feel like that's kind of how, like, you ever watch that show Riverdale back in the day? Yeah, it's like where like Archie's like a
season of it.
Yeah, he's like dating everybody at the same time, but like everybody feels bad for him. It's like, all right, you kind of a man-ho. I don't can't really feel that bad for you. Like it's like you causing your own problems, man.
Yeah. Just because it's your story doesn't mean
exactly
I have to root for you.
Bone your way through the whole show. You gotta, like, you know. I'm not trying to be a prude, but come on, man. Like, I don't blame him for being mad.
It's like you don't understand that there's consequences.
Exactly.
Your actions. Yeah.
You could do it, but just don't be mad when she's like, hey.
Exactly.
That's fine. But, you know, people are gonna ask what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, there's so many, like, gosh, there's so many. Do you ever feel like there's just like too many shows to keep up with at this point?
100%.
Oh my gosh.
100%.
Yeah.
They say we're in like the golden age of television because there's so much content and so much good content.
Yeah, seriously.
Right now. I mean, soon we probably won't see as much just because of production has slowed.
Yeah, dude, I'm really curious. I wonder if stuff's just going to get bad because they're just trying to pump it out like as quick as they can because of COVID, or if it's going to be like they're just not going to have anything. Like, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it'll be a subtle change when things do come back.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, every scene only has two people and they're standing a little farther away from each other.
Way less kissing scenes. Like, we'll just be watching like movies. Like we'll be watching stuff from like when I Love Lucy came out, where like they sleep in separate beds and stuff because of COVID.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god, we'll just regrade or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Try to use a fancy word. That's what I get for trying to use fancy words.
Yeah, what would the word be? I don't know.
Regress. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like we'll retrograde back. Like what is Mercury and rising back to the whatever. Oh man. So when you are writing things, do you typically like improvise like with people? Do you use like, or because you were talking a lot about improv, is most of what you do improv and you kind of find the comedy bits in between, or?
Yes. Yes and no. It depends on what I'm doing. Most of the time, sketch is born out of something. Like there's some sort of inspiration to it. So like with the Bachelorette, very serious audition video, that was pretty scripted.
Okay.
Sort of. I think just because I was the only one involved. I think I got my roommate to hold the camera for like 2 shots, but that was it. And so I had to sort of know what I was going to be saying.
Yeah.
But then with something where I'm with another person, it's a lot easier to improvise. Because usually the people I'm doing stuff with are a lot funnier than me. So I want to hear, I don't want to tell them what to say. It's like whatever whatever comes out of your mouth is going to be better than what I can come up with.
Well, that's like I feel like that's a very, like a trusting and I don't know, like a humble way to go into creating with somebody, because you're trusting them to like also be funny and like come with something back, as opposed to just like going like you have to say your line like at the time.
Sure, yeah.
Which I feel like some, like you said, like some stuff that's like really tight and you need to like make sure that things get hit, like that's one thing. But some of my favorites personally, like Will Ferrell and like all those, like Steve Carell, all the people from The Office, like I think part of what makes some of that stuff so funny is that like they give them that's like premise and go, and you just trust that they're going to be funny. yeah, I don't know. It adds like a whole new element to it. Yeah.
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 There's elements to that with music too, where it's like there's times where, like there's times where like I know what I want, in the studio, and I'm like, yeah, I need this bass line or these drums like this way, right? But there's other times where, again, like if you're working with somebody who's really good, you don't necessarily want to tell them exactly what you want. There's some people who are like that though. Like this Tyler the Creator is like, I've heard he's like like he literally won't work with people if they don't do exactly what he wants, which is,
oh really?
Yeah, which is some people but other people also say like, but he's the nicest guy. Like it's not like a control freak thing. It's just
he knows what he wants.
He needs that to be done the way it is for his like, I don't know, his dream or of whatever that thing's gonna be to happen. So like even when he has like Frank Ocean on or something like that on one of his tracks, like he feeds him the inflection, like where it's gonna go, the lyrics, like he's very, very fingers in the clay type thing. Whereas like I know a lot of other artists who are just not like that. Like they know their strengths, and the reason that they brought somebody else in is because they're trying to fill in that gap. They're trying to be like, hey, like I want a dirty bass line over this, and I don't really know like what you're gonna do, but like this is the drum beat, just play a bass line over it, and that person does a really good job.
Yeah, I guess that is similar to just film in general. There are directors who have scripted out every single line, and you're gonna say it the way it was written and the way it was meant to be said. And then there's other directors who are like, just ad lib at the end or whatever.
Interesting.
I feel like in general music has to be more collaborative though.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, it is. And you know what? There's a lot of like, there's a lot of lie to that I feel like comes out a lot recently. Whereas like I feel like a lot of people, at least that I look up to, and people that I look at in the music scene, there are a lot of them are like, I produced the whole track myself and I write all the lyrics, and like they make it seem, especially through marketing and publicity, that like they're the end all be all of what happens. But like because I produce music and I have a lot of friends who are like some of my favorite producers, like I know that's not true. Like I know that like they don't make everything themselves. Like it's that.
Yeah.
That's just, it's a lie, but it's something that like it sells if you're the guy who like does everything himself. But like in reality, most people, even like producers and singers that I admire, like Lido or like Cashmere Cat or Benny Blanco or like just whatever, there's all these people that I look up to, or John Bellion, like all these people, like John Bellion, to his credit though, I will say, is like he is marketed like this guy who does it all himself, but when you look at, he actually has a lot of behind the scenes of like how he makes the tracks and stuff. And most of the time what happens is exactly what we just said, where it's like, I know that I want a bass line over this, and I know a guy from back in the day that I used to work with, and he'll just phone him up and be like, hey, can you come by today or tomorrow or whatever it is? And like the guy will be like, yeah, I'll clear my schedule and I'll come by. But like, so to his credit, at least they show that part of the process. But so many people, like, I feel like go like, yeah, I do it all myself. And like, it's the same with film. Like there's no way you can't film it all yourself. Like you said, you had your friend, like film part of it, because it's just impossible to do some things on your own. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's like an individualist society type thing where it's like you have to look like you got it all together. But like, again, so much of what we do is collaborative, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know why people try and hide that. Like that's kind of the beauty of what we do, to be honest with you. Like, yeah.
That is super interesting. What the appeal is of like, I did this all myself, didn't need any help.
Yeah.
I guess it's just a jack of all trades. Like I can do it all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about that a lot recently too, the whole jack of all trades thing, because I feel like, I don't know, it's just something that's coming up for me in my life right now, where I feel like, let's get real deep real quick, Paige. Hang on, let me lean back in my therapist chair. And no, but I've been thinking about that, because it's like I feel like I'm. There's something to be said about like being really good at one thing, and like I don't know, because I feel like this is gonna sound douchey, because it's gonna sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but I feel like I'm pretty good at a lot of things. Like I feel like I'm pretty good at editing. Like I edit this podcast. I'm pretty good at like audio, and like I make music and stuff. But it's like you can only divide your time so much, and like I feel like there comes a time where it's like you gotta just decide what you want to go for. At least even if it's just for a window of time. Like there's people like Childish Gambino is a great example of that. Like Donald Glover, where like he does it all, but I feel like one of the reasons why he's able to do that is because he wrote for a long time doing comedy, and then he did music, and then he went back and did some acting with like some of the other stuff that he did. And
I mean, he really can do everything.
Yeah, and now he does a little bit of everything, but it's like,
yeah,
I feel like, I don't know if I'm right or wrong about this, but instinctually I feel like he has to have like, okay, I'm going to focus on this for a while. At least it seems that way, because it's like
compartmentalize a little bit.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe he does it all at once, because he's somebody I really, really admire, because I love comedy. I just think it's one of the coolest art forms, whether it's like filmed in skit version stuff like or stand up, because it's just like, what the heck, Like I don't know, like just. Because there's with what I do is like I'm trying to get a message with music, but it's like there's so many layers that I can hide behind. Whereas like comedy is just like you're there, like.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
They're very similar. I think what we're finding in this though.
Yeah.
Comedy and music.
Yeah.
There is sort of like the what you were saying about being a jack of all trades in music. I think is the expectation now in film too.
Really.
They say that acting, writing, directing is like the new triple threat, and all the people on TV are creating their own, like Phoebe Waller-Bridge with Fleabag, and Issa Rae and Lena Dunham even like are selling these projects that they have written and are directing and are going to be starring in and producing, and that's sort of the direction that it's heading right now. I don't know why, or if it's just sort of a trend, or if that's the way things are going to be going. I don't know, but
yeah, I wonder how much of that is like actually true, though. Like, and again, who knows? Maybe they really do it all themselves. But like, I feel like from the little experience that I've had in my side of the industry, it might be true for what you guys do. But like, I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like they gotta have shadow directors. Like somebody's gotta be behind the camera while they're in front of it. You know what I mean? Like there's gotta be.
Right. Yeah.
And so like even if it's just an AD, like a really good AD, but it's like you said earlier, like somebody that you really trust to like hit the moments, hit the like the edits and stuff like that in the right way, because like otherwise it's just there's no way to know. Like there's no way to know unless.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's so much that goes into filming something that does not get the credit it deserves. I mean,
yeah.
If it weren't for the lighting guy, you wouldn't see anything, and the sound guys, and like there's so much that people don't talk about that don't get Oscars.
Yeah, like even the editing and stuff like that too. I feel like it's always like the director, but like when you really think about it, it's like the director got the shots, but like if the editor was trash, like it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. It looked terrible. Like it would just look like
they'd pull all the wrong takes and put it in the wrong order.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I mean, there's a lot of similarity with that with music too, where it's like, I mean, like the mix engineer, rarely gets a lot of credit, and like mastering is like a whole nother thing that's basically like magic. I don't even know how people do that. I mean, I do some of it, but not on the level that some of these guys do, where it's like, because like mixing is essentially you're taking all the tracks and like making them sound good together, and mastering is like you just have like just the left and right, like you make that sound even better. So like there's some magic to that. I remember I was working at like this really ritzy studio, and I was super low level there. Like it's not to make me sound cool. It was like pouring coffee, but like I was talking to the engineer, and I was like, because they mix all these like amazing tracks there, and I was like, whatever, talking to him, like bending his ear, and at one point we started talking about mastering. He's like, yeah, I don't even know how those guys do that. We don't do that here. I'm like, really? And it was like this fancy studio, and I was like, wow, you guys don't do that here? Because it's like they have every piece of equipment you could ever want. He's like, yeah, I can't. Like, that's crazy. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure is it a particular skill set then? What is it that, like, they have that other people couldn't do it?
Yeah, so I think the equivalent to it, like kind of close to it, would in film would be like if you there's one thing to be an editor where you like make the timing right and like do that part of it, but maybe like color grading. Like somebody who's like really good at making the different colors pop out and like doing all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know the film world like that to be able to make a direct correlation, but that's something where I could see it because you're making one kind of change to everything, but it I guess it changes through time. Like I don't know, per shot, I guess. So
yeah. Okay, got you. I know nothing about music.
Really?
Truly.
Yeah. I feel like I don't either.
I'm learning. This is great.
I don't know, man. I don't know. There's this. I feel like that's. My buddy taught me that a while back, where there's like that bell curve of understanding of things, where like you get to. So like there's like when you don't know anything and you think you know things, and then like right at the top of the bell curve, you know just enough to know that you know nothing. Because you could see the geniuses on the other side of your bell curve, and you're like, what? Like, I can't. What is he doing? Like,
okay, I've
but
never
you actually
heard
know
that.
a lot. You know a lot, but I forget what it's called. It's some bell curve where it's like, you know quite a bit, probably more than most, but like you feel like you know nothing because you're just high enough on the bell curve to see the genius and be like, oh. Yeah, I can't split the atom. Like, I know what they do.
That's super interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
But then all those geniuses probably think they're at the top of the bell curve too, you know?
That's true. There's always somebody who's going to be better than you. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. I don't know. There's some beauty to that, though. I don't know. I find solace in it. I used to get annoyed by it, and then now I find solace in it. That it's just make what you're going to make.
Yeah.
And don't critique it too much because it's like somebody's always gonna make something and you're gonna think it's better and they're gonna like yours and vice versa, and I don't know.
Yeah. I could see it being annoying if I were a perfectionist or like just a general know-it-all, like wanted to know everything, don't like being shown up.
Hi, hello, I'm RENE. I don't know if we've met.
This is like therapy.
Oh, it is though. It is. That's actually why I have people on. Is just to just get different therapists. I'm just vetting therapists, and I'm gonna ask you
get some free help.
Rate. Yeah. What's your hourly rate after this?
Yeah, I don't know how helpful I can be. Definitely not a.
Oh man. Yeah. Gosh, I don't know. Do you like? Since you do a lot of work on your own, do you feel like there's like, I don't know, do you feel like you're gonna need to go out into the world and get more world experience because you said you're writing again, right? So you're like writing daily or whatever it was that you were saying, and like, do you feel like you're just writing COVID bits right now, or like you able to kind of venture out of your mind, or I'm curious.
What I've started doing is revisiting old ideas or like going sort of because I wasn't getting inspiration from anything. So I was like, okay, well, let me go sort of back and see other things that maybe flopped or that I just never developed fully.
Right. Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm starting, and it's easier than I think starting kind of from scratch.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If you asked me to write something completely original right now, I couldn't do it. I don't know where I would even begin.
Yeah, I feel that. That's definitely like, yeah, that's probably smart, especially like I remember I was talking to Adam Andrew, I don't know with Adam Carolla is why he came into my mind. I was talking with Adam Carolla about his wife. No, I was talking to Andrew Carter. And he has that podcast, Is It Still Good? And they were reviewing some R.L. Stine stuff. And R.L. Stine apparently is prolific for writing constantly. Like, that's how he came up with all the Goosebumps and stuff like that. Like, every friggin' day he wrote a new Goosebumps novel, apparently. And,
wow.
I mean, I don't know about every day. I might be exaggerating. But he wrote a lot. And, like, his thing for getting through, this is, like, one of the things that stuck with me through that podcast, was his thing with getting through writer's block was exactly what you're talking about. He's like, if you're stuck, never start from scratch. Don't look at a blank page. Go with something you already kind of had, you know? which makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
It's more productive than stopping or waiting
or just staring at
to
the
move
page.
forward.
Yeah. Yeah, you're starting.
And writing is rewriting, they say.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Novels, I don't even know how people do that. I love books. Like, I like listening to, I don't read at all because I have ADD, but like, I listen to books. Which my friend
told
me.
How?
I don't, actually. It's
okay, then I think we found the problem.
This is part of the therapy. Yeah, no. You imagine? That's an actual thing I just like disclose right now.
Yeah, right at the end. Just
never learned.
Flip it in there.
Somehow
By the way, I don't know how to read.
Yeah, damn, that would be nuts. I can't imagine. There's people like that though who can't.
I know.
They're like, yeah.
There totally are.
That would be terrible. That would be really nuts. No, but yeah, no, I have a buddy who writes like long form, just like I guess not novels, but like I don't know what you call them, like short stories, I guess. But like, I can't imagine. I can't like just.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful art form though. Like I love like Lord of the Rings and like all these like I don't know. I'm such a nerd. I try not to show it too much, but I'm such a nerd, such a weird.
Great.
But yeah, there's just such beautiful stories, and like I can't even begin to fathom how to start doing that.
Yeah, at least with with screenwriting, there's a structure to it. There's sort of the expectation, around this page is when this is going to happen. And with a novel, I'm sure there is that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's but is there? Because novels they can be 80 pages or they can be 1,000 pages. So I don't even know. That's
the thing. And then like, there's also like critiques of people where like Stephen King, where he gets to a point where they just like he became who he is and now they don't edit him anymore because they're just afraid to cut some gem out, where it's like, and then now his novels are like freaking 1,800 pages. You're like, all right, bro. Yeah. Like that could have been a series. Like, what are we doing here? This is kind of a lot.
Yeah, exactly. It's magic writing books.
Dude, writing any of that is just, I don't have the attention span again with the ADD to like actually sit and write. That's why I was curious if you do like when you start with mostly the improv and stuff like that, just because like, man, I don't know, sitting and writing is hard. That's why I do songs, because they're 2 minutes and you're out. Like I only have to keep my focus for a short time.
Yeah, I guess sketch is similar. 2 minutes and you're out.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Did you ever do like improv, like on stage, like any of that?
Yeah, I did improv in college. I was on an improv team.
Nice.
Not to brag.
Oh yeah.
And I still do a little bit. I do a little bit at the Groundlings, take classes and things like that. I like improv because it's very challenging and it's very. It's as far as like getting things out of it. Like a lot of people do it to get inspiration for writing.
Yeah.
I'm not that good yet. I more just do it to like get my juices flowing. And then, when you just get into like a creative mindset, it's easier sometimes to get something out of that. But there are some people who do improv that are insane. Like, I mean, just so good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, have you watched who are those guys on Netflix? They have that improv comedy.
Middleditch and Schwartz.
So good.
So good.
Oh my gosh, so good. Yeah, that blew me away. I just couldn't. The whole show is like, it's just, and then the callbacks and like remembering all that live while you're knowing you're being filmed, like especially with improv, like I feel like usually you're like, all right, well, this is just whoever's here is going to see it. And if it flops, it is what it is. But it's like they knew they were getting filmed while doing improv. Like, oh my gosh.
Improv is one of those things that there are rules to it. You can learn it, but you either can do it or you can't. Like you can get better, but you can't train yourself to the point where you're as good as Thomas Middleditch unless you're born with his talent. I guess music's probably similar.
No, it's not.
If I tried to learn an instrument,
You could do it.
I would never be.
You definitely do it.
Beethoven.
You can definitely. Well, I don't know about Beethoven. I don't know. That guy's dead. I don't. If he's dead, he gets a pass. I mean, he could stay who he is forever. But I don't. Yeah, no, you could do it though. I mean, musicality.
But don't you think there's some aspect, like there's some part of it that's like you have to have a talent for it?
I think you have to have like an affinity for it. Like that's such a stupid like play on words that I just did to you. But I think you have to. And by the affinity, I mean like I think you have to want to do it. Does that make sense? Because it's like I don't necessarily think that like nobody could I think anybody could do it, but I think it just takes a long time to learn an instrument. So you like fizzle out because you get bored. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas like I don't know. Where I don't think anyone couldn't do it. I think it's just like you get bored so you don't want to keep doing it. And so I think that's where some of that like passion comes from. But like I kind of get what you're saying. I'm not trying to be like super like against the grain, but like I see what you're saying where it's like some people just have like, especially with music, like the way that somebody plays, you know. But I think that comes with like you're just, you know where the keys are or you know where the strings are so well that you don't have to think about that anymore and you could just tap into the emotion part of it while you're playing. Because I think everybody has those emotions. And like the other thing too is like I guess some people aren't funny, and my dad's kind of tone deaf, so maybe this is true. Maybe I'm hedging my own bets here. But like, I don't know. It's like music is such a weird thing. Music doesn't make any, like comedy's kind of similar in some ways too, where it's like music is like, we don't need music. Like you don't, my buddy was talking to me about that the other day. He was like, we don't, like what is music? You don't need it. Like when you really look at like what, you don't need
to
that
survive. Like
if you look at like evolution wise, like why do you, it doesn't, I guess it tells stories if you really want to go that like about it, but like we don't need it. But everybody has a favorite artist or genre or something, you know. It's like, so I feel like it's just in everybody, you know, like everybody's got something, but I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe not.
I suppose people also going off what you said about you have to have an interest in it. People sort of gravitate to things that they're interested in, but also things that they're good at.
True. That's a good point, actually.
You know, enjoy things that come easy to you more so than...
Yeah. No, that's true. Like, if you're already good at it, like, you're getting that reward system in your brain of just, like, well, I'm good at this. Like, why not get better at it? And, like, just, like, keep going. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I do like, I think there is something to like pushing yourself to try things you're really bad at. Like I do like that. But again, I don't want to like do it forever. I just want to try it for a while. So that's probably more to your point of like, you like the things that you have some affinity or like good at on some level, and like you get better progressively.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some people don't have comedic timing too. Like I see what you're saying with that too. Like some people just can't. Like improv is not everybody. I see what you're saying. Not everybody can do that, like off the bat, especially just because like you just don't have the timing down. You don't have that in your bones.
Yeah.
That's so
Improv
weird.
is just a crazy beast.
Yeah. It's such a weird thing though that as like human beings we just like, I don't know. Like we're all good at different stuff. Like how cool is that? I don't know.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah. It makes me happy, honestly, because like I used to like, I remember when I was younger, I was very like, why doesn't everybody want to be creative and be just like me because I'm so cool? And then like I realized as one of my good friends, he's super creative and like basically is good at anything he touches, but his girlfriend is very opposite of him. She's really good at math. She's creative as well. Like I've seen she can like do a bunch of like creative things. She has some affinity towards that, but her field at the time was mathematics and stuff. And like so she knew math on a level that was just like can't even begin to get. Like she would know like chaos theory stuff where numbers don't even make sense anymore. They're mostly imaginary.
Yeah.
I don't even get it. And in my mind, I was just like, wow, what a like. I don't know. I was like, that seems boring to me. But then when I would see her face light up, like with certain like math like things or whatever, like the way that she lit up, like would be the way that I would light up for certain like certain things that I would do creative, I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like some people are just built like that. They just that's what makes them happy. Like they
exactly
find it fun.
That's my that makes me think of my older brother, who is also, he's good at everything. He is, you know, played sports, straight A's, hilarious. Like he could do whatever he wanted to. And he's an aerospace engineer. Like he just loves airplanes. If you get him talking about planes or like NASA or something, that's just it's what he loves. I think it's partially because he could do anything, and that's something that challenges him.
Right.
So he likes that about it. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know how you just work on planes all the time. It's like, not like something that my brain does not work that way at all. So it's impressive and surprising to me.
Yeah, but it's, again, it's like, it's just the beauty of like, well, we need people like that, you know, like, and we need people like us too, but it's like, we also need people like that, because otherwise we can't fly on a plane to do the next gig or whatever it is. But
I mean, my boyfriend works in insurance.
Yeah.
Like,
you need those people too.
He doesn't know anything about movies or entertainment, but he can tell you about your policy.
For sure.
And he loves that, you know, like we really do need people in everything.
Just all kinds. That's something that that keeps circling back when it comes to I guess the COVID thing and like whatever. Is just, for me, it's been a lot of like realizing how much like we just need people, like need all kinds of people, and like all kinds of people. Everything from entertainment to like people who can cure viruses to people who can like keep the world going, you know, while we're in this kind of setup, and like just every kind of person we need, which is just so like weird but beautiful in a way, you know. It's cliche, but it's also like how connected we all are. That's really been evident. And like I can tend to be pretty solitary, just because I don't know, like I'm always busy, like doing some sort of work or something like that, and I just keep myself busy, so I'm pretty solitary sometimes. But I noticed in COVID, I was like, wow, like it just made me realize like how much I miss people. I was like, oh, dude, I just wish I could just go get a beer with my friend or whatever. And it's just like I didn't think about that. It's just like, you take it for granted. I'm
definitely introverted too. But you don't realize like until it's gone. How much you miss it or how much you enjoy it, you know?
That's a good way to put it. It's like, even an introvert, like it's like it's even introverted people at some point need people. Like you can't like be completely alone. Even if, like I once heard somebody say like basically like, I think it's pretty true. Like actually, like it's like almost like a battery, like recharging your battery. Like I feel like when I'm alone, I get recharged. Like, you know, like I'm able to recharge my battery.
That's how I had it explained to me too. Introvert versus extrovert. Some people are charged by people around them, and then they have time to themselves, and then some people are the opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
You need both. There's a balance for sure.
But exactly. Just because my battery gets recharged while I'm alone doesn't mean that like I don't find value or need people. It just takes energy to do that.
Because then you got a full battery, and what are you going to do with that?
Yeah, exactly. It's just going to explode, and then you got nothing to... too much energy. That's super true though. Like my dad, like I actually felt really bad for him when COVID started, because he is such a social butterfly. Like he is just the guy that just is constantly like just talking with people, meeting people, like just knows everybody's name, always introducing me to somebody. I'm like, dude, how do you know this guy? Like we just, this is a sandwich shop. Like how do you, like what do you, so like I felt for him, because like that's tough. Like you just have nowhere to. But then eventually it hit me too, and I was like, oh yeah, this is just for everybody. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
Just on a real dark note, we get just bring it all the way back.
Really sad. Aw, but it's true.
Yeah, it is true though. It's a weirdly beautiful thing, that I think at the end of the day. So. I don't know. You'd hope it'd bring us together more, but who knows? We might just tear apart at the seams.
I know, that's the way it seems to be going.
Dude, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Oh, such a wild time. It's such a great. Do you ever think about how like this is gonna be in a history book somewhere? Do you ever think about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think about that all the time. Just like.
Yeah, I think it was my roommate the other day who said that they're gonna like name this period of time. Like there's been certain eras.
Yeah.
In the past.
Yeah, like the Great Depression.
That's gonna be one.
The Roaring '20s. Yeah, dude. What do you think the name's gonna be? I don't know.
I just hope the world lives long enough to put this in a history book.
Yeah, we live long enough to make a name.
Yeah, like I can't even think that far. I can't even think into next year. Like,
right?
So much is going to be different after this. Like, I can't even.
And that's why I don't get when to bring it back to like what we talked about right at the beginning was like that's why I don't get when people are like, let's just get to 2021. It's like I can't think past this week. Literally, I'm week to week at this point. I used to be day to day, so I'm proud of myself for just being week to week. To be honest.
But there's just so much unknown. There are so many variables. I mean, even if we get a vaccine tomorrow, like things aren't going to go back to the way they were before. You know, we have yet to see. I don't know. Yeah. Not to be too like doomsday-y, but
no. But I mean, I get it. You made a bunker. It's fine. That's as long as it's stocked. And I can come hang out. It's cool.
My dad, no joke, my dad has been buying like doomsday stuff. He bought this bucket of like meals.
Oh yeah,
that'll
the MREs
last like 15 years.
Oh yeah, amazing. I love that stuff though. I'm like weirdly like I'm not a prepper because I live in California. I don't have a basement or a bunker. Like, are you kidding me? I can't afford an apartment. But like. You think I could exterior places? But I weirdly admire people who like have the forethought and like plan like all that stuff. I don't know. I just like it's I don't know, people who are like just like really well prepared. Like there's a boundary I feel like where you dip into just crazy town. But like I don't know.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends who are like on the border. My buddy just sold his car to get like a big Jeep, like a like on the run, like alien invasion something Jeep, and they've like bought guns, like they're ready.
Oh, sick. Yeah. Well, that's actually like a real, like you thought that through if you're in California and you buy guns. That takes a while to get.
I know.
Like that takes.
So I'm like, I'm happy to know him and her because then I can.
Yeah,
that's who I'm calling.
You keep your boogie plan right in the back of your mind. Yeah, I got my buddy, my best friend's house is like armed to the teeth because his dad's like just super like just always grew up around guns and like has for sure. If zombies come, that's where I'm going. And it's like I know that's a big what if, but like I got the spot in my brain. Like that's where I'm. That's I'm trying to
more than a lot of people can say.
That's where I'm trying to get to in my CRV. I don't know if I'll make it. Me and my soccer mom car, we're gonna try and get to the rendezvous point.
Yeah, I would just, if anything did happen, I think I would just resign. If we did get like, attacked by aliens or like,
oh man,
a Jurassic Park zombie whatever situation.
Yeah, man. Do you think aliens are actually gonna come or no? Do you think, because there's all this stuff everyone's been talking about like aliens lately? I feel. Do you ever hear about any of that, or am I just super conspiracy?
No, I definitely have been hearing about it and all the theories that like NASA's releasing this stuff now when no one's paying attention.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I
buy it.
Who knows, man? I don't know.
I'm a big fan of Blink-182, and so I feel like Tom DeLonge's been telling us for forever.
For like a couple of years. Yeah, he looked real crazy for a minute there, and now everybody's like,
I know.
Oh, okay. I see you.
Now people are like, should have listened to him.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's just time travel. Maybe it's people coming back to just watch this crazy period of time.
Maybe it's just time travel. We were afraid it was aliens, but it could just be time travel.
Simply time travel.
No one's considered that yet.
Because I feel like if you were traveling through time, now would be a weird time to come and check us out. You know what I mean?
True.
If we actually make it past this time period, like I would come back to this time and just to see, like, oh yeah, that was nuts. We had a Cheeto president. There was a guy who can't form sentences running against him. You know, like just cool. Like who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, maybe people are traveling back to this time for that reason.
Yeah, we're like in a weird
and that's
like
why
zoo.
There's been more, aliens.
Yeah.
UFOs.
Yeah, there's just like a weird.
I think we're onto something.
All right, that's definitely like that's the clip I'm going to use for the podcast. Is just us talking about aliens. So that's what it seems like it's about the whole time. And then
perfect. Yep. Government's going to be like knocking on our doors.
Oh yeah, FBI guy's already here, man. That's Oh my gosh. Who knows? Well, this is super fun, honestly. We're coming up on an hour. I mean, a little over an hour actually now, but
nice.
I'm just having fun. So I didn't really think about it, but yeah, is there any? I know to point everybody towards Instagram, which is mostly where you put your comedy sketches and stuff like that, and most of that. So I'll point people there, and then any last words? I felt like a Bond villain saying that.
No, thanks. This was fun. This was super fun.
Yeah.
It's nice just to like talk to anybody.
Yeah, same. Honestly, it's nice to talk to somebody else who's creative and like just is kind of going through some of the same. Again, it's our group therapy session. That's basically what I do.
Yeah.
Every week we just hopefully help people get through whatever's going on. Because But I will point people to your socials below, and we'll tag everything below. So if you enjoy the conversation, they can come check it out there. And I'll end the podcast here. But it was great having you on. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Once more, with reading. Try that again.